Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we go back up north, because we really need to talk to Call Me Mañana. We've heard of him before. I saw that before over there on our way south. What is this? Tire tracks leading onto the roof, and the slush and rain has almost washed them off. Oh, so that's what the car did to break the sign down south over here. Can I look at the map? We cannot look at the map. Not like this. We don't have a map. Even though, wait. Did we just have a map? Did you see it? It was there. That was the map of the city. I didn't recognize it immediately as a map, but then again, the map of the city isn't particularly mappish. But yeah, that is. I think that was a bug. I'm pretty sure that was not supposed to be there. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure that was the map. Excuse me. Hi. Oh. No. Yeah. Can I get the thing? The spirited chirps and clicks of swallows fill the air. They do. Strange, I could have sworn. Not bad, René. You might stand a chance this time. I think they're talking about the game or something.
Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
He covers his mouth to hide a burp.
I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich.
He nods to his partner.
Talk to angry old René first.
Can I have a little bit of sandwich? That'd be really nice.
Have you no shame?
The man says to his partner.
Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
This one's still chewing on his sandwich.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
Alright, I got this. Ball time.
That's the spirit. Don't even waste your breath asking about the game. They wouldn't know anyway. They're way past their prime.
I'm gonna grab the ball and show them how it's done. 97% chance to do that. It's down to our hand-eye coordination. And I have a +2 because I'm acting without hesitation.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen.
Feel the ball.
The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready.
Take in the surroundings.
A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball. West, in the Grand Couronne area, a sharp overhand left from Arsène Luc Edelbrock sends the Samarin heavyweight champion, Kostya Miasnok Kostanica, flying to the mat. The crowd goes wild. Revachol loves her heroes.
There's time for a last glance inward. Who am I?
An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. Behold the fear and confusion reflecting in the eyes of the two feeble geezers. They are in awe of your superiority. You are a god to them.
I disagree with that, but sure, the inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a gun. Let go. Be the bullet.
Merde!
The old soldier yells in outrage.
Bordel de merde! What the hell is your problem?
Not a weak right triceps, that's for sure.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
Wait, what?
You vandalized our game, son.
He tries to calm himself.
We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
P-Tank?
Yes, pétanque.
The man says, raising his voice again.
You ruined our pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René.
The Jolly One tries to defuse the situation.
This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug.
The heel of his cavalry boot slams in the ground.
You owe us a goddamn bull.
Okay, I'll try to fix this.
Good.
He nods.
Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Do you seem to be playing in a crater?
Yes.
The man nods.
The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Does it have anything to do with all the bullet holes I'm seeing all around?
Yes.
He replies with a reluctant nod.
It was left by heavy artillery fire.
Heavy artillery fire, you say? That's the best kind of artillery fire. Very interesting.
Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was the heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
And we know enough to know about what happened here in regards to the communists trying to do the revolution, and he's probably a loyalist. A royalist? Because, loyal to the crown? Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. I talked to him in my previous playthrough, but I don't remember exactly. One thing that did confuse me, though, was the word communard. I believe this is a real-life word, as well as many other words that this game uses, but it just means communist. It's people who stand for communism, and, yeah. I can ask that, though. Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
He adds, squeezing a bowl in his fist.
Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't so, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Why shell them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead.
He says, pointing to the bay.
Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes.
He nods, inspecting you with some disdain.
The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
He points to the northeast. Deathblow. Sounds grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely,
he says, looking down at the soil.
We're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground.
The other one shakes his head.
You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Hold on. The coalition?
Mm-hmm.
He grunts.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Is that why everything is so bombed out?
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
There is a strange gleam in his eyes.
He approves of this radical approach. Knows it was necessary.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument.
A dark shadow runs across his face.
And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault.
The jolly man remarks.
You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the...
He stops mid-sentence and turns to you.
What do you think?
This coalition seems quite capable, actually.
They are not. And I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains,
He takes a deep breath.
I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio.
He sighs.
This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
Enemy of your enemy, then, I suppose. He's a very confused person. Who was this Frissel?
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown.
The old veteran falls silent and massages his chest.
He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
You mentioned Guillaume?
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
I don't believe we have heard much about Guillaume yet. We will hear that. Let's remember what he just said. It's more... Now look at how it's played, by the way. We saw that before. My character's an idiot. But, yeah, this is characterizing of him. He's saying that that Guillaume was a true king in blood and mind. And let's remember that for later.
Wait, Joyce said William ran, and his nephew, Frizzle, was shot in his place.
Yeah, she did say that, actually. Commies didn't drive Guillaume out. He left when things got bad and left Frissel to take the hit.
This is communard propaganda. Guillaume would never do something like that. He is Le Lion.
Mm-hmm. What exactly is a suzerain?
The suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already?
He then slowly nods and says to himself,
They forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's borders when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
And I can wonder what it is about this soldier that makes him stand so proud. It is a composure check. I guess I could do it. Let's do it.
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly.
How many medals are there?
2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun.
I'm gonna look at the cross.
A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle.
So carabiner, carabine or carbine, it's rifle. It's not quite the same thing in many languages, but they're related. He could have been a carabiner, if that is what that is. Crowned carabiner, it makes sense, right?
It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frissel I.
Well, I guess our encyclopedia knows better than I do. Let's look at the sun, then.
A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frissel I during the Revolution.
Thank you, Encyclopedia, because that's not actually the word valiance. It's vaillance, which is a French word. That means, I think, the same thing in English, but it's not liance, it's ilance. So it's vaillance. Anyway, Croix de Bravoure and the Setting Sun. I'm gonna point at his chest. Did you get them for...
For bravery.
He interjects. For bravery?
For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shat themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
Save the princeling.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frisel thought he could end it all in one decisive strike.
The old carabineer runs his fingers over the larger medal.
Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle.
He spits.
Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
He really despises that dry sand fellow.
Purple velvet tunic.
The lieutenant says thoughtfully.
That isn't exactly camo.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage.
Must have been a bloodbath.
I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
He pats his right thigh.
It's painful to even think about.
Okay, then what did you do?
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
When I came to, it was all over.
He continues, ignoring his companion.
It was just me and Jolles Tresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one.
This would never happen to Johnny Lawjaw. I'm gonna point to my jaw. My jaw is tight.
Right.
He doesn't get sidetracked.
So I grabbed the prick and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frisel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that.
He shakes his head.
13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
Sounds like you're being modest, Rene.
The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drisant. 2 days later that was. And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself. It's there.
Yeah, it is there. Hold on. You're just a little bit proud of René's heroics, aren't you?
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong.
He chuckles.
I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only impressive to men like René himself. Certainly not to me. How did you find the story to be, officer?
Quite impressive, It's men like René that made Revachol great once.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer.
He points to the sun-shaped medal on René's chest.
They don't hand this out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot
He nods eagerly.
repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon.
He slams the heel of his boot in the ground.
Duty is something you will never understand.
Why did you despise Draison so much?
Because he was a goddamn dandy.
He exclaims furiously.
Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it. Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. Pooh!
He spits.
And 782 Royal Carabineers are dead because of his incompetence.
Thanks for the story, René.
Bah!
His gaze wanders over the bay.
There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too. True Eversholians. Men with backbone.
Oh yes, René, yes.
The jolly man nods meekly.
Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again.
He mumbles through clenched teeth and turns to you.
Officer, was there anything else?
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Unfortunately, I have a -2 because I threw their bull in the sea. And also it's a legendary check for our drama. And our drama sucks. I think it would be physique? No. Is it psyche? It's intellect. Right there. Yeah. Well, maybe when I smoke a little. I'm not gonna get anywhere. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. We could do that later. We're gonna try it later. Do you know anything about the man hanged in the back of the yard of the whirling in rags?
Unfortunately, I don't.
He shrugs.
Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
So again, you don't know anything.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
Thank you for your time. Ah, my back. I swear it's getting worse, says... I forget his name, the jolly one.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruta.
Oh, it's our endurance Nazi friend. Right. I think this is for... We need to replace a lost ball. Yep. I believe... Oh, we got a mission complete, I think. Let's see where this goes. What is my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Bruta.
And I can proceed immediately to the judgment. What is fascism, though?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems?
Well, despite there being an answer that Endurance wants to hear from us, which is leftist academians, although all of them sort of fit a little, I think. Yep. Yeah, I thought you were my circulatory system. There is an answer for a moralist. And it's also leftist academians.
Yes, them, but also women.
Woman.
Women, men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that Wu men need to know their place.
That's an interesting interpretation. There's certainly a strong level of patriarchal thinking in fascism, historically speaking. And it just, in real life, I mean, when I say historically speaking, I mean in real life. In this game, I do think that it might be related to that. Am I having some kind of stomach seizure?
Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth.
Why am I getting this?
Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times.
But fascism sounds so bad, though. What if we called it something else, like, traditionalism?
Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking.
Okay, Stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism.
You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
I'm pretty sure all of this stuff is being mispronounced by the narrator. But, so what I do here... I don't know what I do. But I think it is a thought? Maybe? There's a lot of stuff here. Revachol and nationhood. I think that is a thought. Absolutely not. I'm not going to be played by an upset stomach.
There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver. It is one of betrayal and disappointment.
Yeah, you're gonna be... Goddamn ticker, he says. He's talking about his heart, I think. You're gonna be disappointed. That's just how it goes for right now. We're not getting any more endurance anytime soon. I really wanted some... Yes, the good old days, he says.
I have really outdone myself.
He takes a bite out of his sandwich.
This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer.
He turns to you.
How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
It looks delicious. I'm gonna point to the sandwich. Can I have a bite of that?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food.
He says, and quickly adds.
Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
Please, man, can I just have a bite?
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable.
His squirming, avoiding your gaze.
In my age, you need to pay attention to these things.
You can barely hear him. The sweet smell of pickles in harmony with garlic butter and marinated onions emanating from the sandwich is driving your mind in a singular direction. It must be yours.
You're not hearing me, man. I need the sandwich.
Fuck off! It's mine!
He jerks away, immediately started by his own reaction.
A glimmer of respect flashes in René's eyes.
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way.
He continues cautiously.
But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
And it's gone.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? You're a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
He says despite the glimmer of respect before. Man, my rhetoric sucks at convincing people to give me their sandwich. Tell me, what do you know about the dead men?
Let me think.
He looks at the clouds wistfully.
I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Really? You know absolutely nothing?
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist.
He adds, smiling apologetically.
You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp.
Reproach fills his eyes.
You have plenty of shoulder with the gauche caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
His cheeks turn red.
I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Respects?
The old carabineer can't believe what he's hearing. Sounds a bit like you're holding back,
I'm not.
he assures you.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back.
The carabineer crosses his arms.
His mouth is so full of union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René?
His eyes are furious.
I'm not anyone impotent in the Union. I just know Evrard.
Can you help me get inside the arbor?
No, I'm sorry, officer.
He shakes his head.
I don't even have a key card. Evrard usually sends someone to get me when he wants to talk.
How do you know Evrard?
Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers.
He says solemnly.
I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history?
The carabineer snaps at Gaston.
You never witnessed history, only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. The blind leading the blind doesn't even begin to describe it, is what he said.
Let's try not to get caught in a
The lieutenant lowers his voice.
crossfire.
Yes, Kim, let's do that. But let's do that next episode, though, because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.